enthusiastic group indeed. And here's what they've come to see. NASCAR racing, Winston Cup, Busch Grand National. Big crowds, big money, big stars, big success. But this is bigger than big. It's super. NASCAR Super Trucks, battleground of champions. En route to Super Trucks, they've walked many paths. Sports cars, wing sprints, off-road, Northwest, Southwest, Winston West, ARCA, Corvettes, Indy cars, ASA, Champ Dirt cars, even motocross. When in Super Trucks, you're more than a champion, you're Superman. Hey, we're live in the Arizona desert where all those prospective supermen have gathered for the Racing Champions 200, Tucson Raceway Park outside Tucson, Arizona. 86 degrees, but it's a dry heat, right? Light winds, humidity about 12%, zip chance of rain. It is, in short, a perfect spring afternoon here in the desert. A great day for motorsports. Great evening if you're joining us back east where we come to you in prime time. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain, here to bring you a long-awaited moment on ESPN and Speed World. It's our first opportunity, the first of 6 this year, to cover the new NASCAR Craftsman Super Truck Series. You've heard so much about it. Think about silhouette race cars, a full-on race chassis with the silhouette body that mimics the production automobile. Well, today we bring you silhouette trucks, a racing chassis with the body of a Ford F-150, a 1500 series Chevy, or a Dodge Ram. Some of the most popular, best-selling automobiles and vehicles in America. And here's what they look like in racing trim out there on the starting grid. Ready to go, 30 strong for 200 laps. It is going to be a wild day on the bull ring, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We have somebody new in the broadcast booth joining us for this race. Prior to today, the most exciting moment in Elton Sawyer's career had to be this Busch Grand National victory. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year. Crew goes crazy, big smile on Elton's face. But how could that compare, ladies and gentlemen, with the opportunity today to join our ESPN broadcast team, become one of the guys with the ties, and try to fill the big shoes of the likes of, say, Benny Parsons, for example?
Well, Dave, I don't know if I can fill his shoes, but I sure don't want to fill his jacket.
Hey, gotcha, Parsons. Let's talk about this series. I'm impressed with the quality of the field that we've gathered here.
Oh, it's great. There's 32 championships among 32 trucks. We've got motorcycle champions. We have off-road champions, all types of stock car championships, as well as off-road.
And what conclusion do we draw from that as we look at all those guys from all those diverse fields? What does that tell us about the quality of this series?
Well, basically, if you take NASCAR, Richard Childress, Dale Earnhardt, Rick Hendricks, you put them all in a hat, these guys are going to come race. I mean, it's going to be a great show. I'm excited.
A lot of people think that it is the most exciting motorsports success story of the 90s. We'll get an indication today whether or not that will be true as we follow the action. Our coverage continues as we go to the head of the grid, and the third member of our broadcast team, Marty Reed, is with the pole sitter.
Well, thanks, David. The man sitting behind the cockpit of the number 3 Chevy truck has won 3 of those 32 championships that Elton was talking about. And inside, Mike Skinner, you toured this at just over 15 seconds. That's flying. But unlike the Winter Heat Series when there was about 20 trucks, there's 30 out here. Traffic's going to play a key factor.
Oh, yeah, traffic's going to be a big deal today. I don't think it'll be, a matter of 15 or 20 laps. We'll be in lap traffic, and a lot of those guys are going to be trying real hard to stay on the lead lap, and I don't blame them. It's just the spotter may be very important for us today. The spotter has to be on his toes today, and we hope we can bring this GM Goodwrench Chevrolet racing truck home in first place for them.
Well, guys, I got to tell you one thing. Somebody said if you pass here at Tucson, you can't be polite about it.
I think that's a paraphrase, Marty, as I understand it. Hey, that light breeze is about to blow us off the roof. We're going to head into the booth and get ready to call the action because the green flag is coming up here on ESPN. Stand by. Pretty day, and what a pretty sight from one of our 2 onboard cameras. You're riding with the pole sitter, Mike Skinner, as we take a quick look at the trucks that are going to race here today. Yeah, a Winston Cup car, familiar black number 3, but there's the transition, and that brings up the question, Elton, how the two compare, the car versus the truck.
Well, basically, Dave, you have to have templates to fit these trucks, just like we do the stock cars. The weight is identically the same as a Winston Cup car. We have a 112-inch wheelbase on the trucks, which is 2 inches longer than a Winston Cup car. The engine is the big key. 9.5 to 1 compression V8 engines.
Here is your pole sitter as we move forward, prepare for the start. Mike Skinner, the winner of the season opener, starts his Chevrolet from the pole. He is your point leader, and alongside Joe Ruttman, a $1 million winner in stock car racing in Ernie Irvin's truck. Jack Sprague, short track veteran with sponsorship from St. John's Catholic Church. And then Steve Portengay, he is the Southwest Tour champion. Scott Legacy, the road racer, and Ron Hornaday. P.J. Jones inside row 4 with Bill Sedgwick on the outside. Mike Bliss, the Silver Crown champion. Sammy Swindell, twice World of Outlaws champion, starting on the outside. Field coming down for a green flag as we get set to turn them loose. And you ride along in the second of our in-car cameras that's going to be riding along today with Hornaday. Let's see who's going to get the jump. I got to think on a tough racetrack to pass, that's going to be exciting. A guy named Carr drops the flag on the trucks, and we're underway.
They're 3 wide in turn 1 there, Dave. I can't believe that early in the race. These guys are going after it already.
A lot of speculation about the ability to pass here.
Skinner's on the bottom.
Goes in side by side. Ruttman wants a piece of the outside, and they are hub to hub as they complete the first lap. Absolute dead even. Terrific competition is what we expected. There's the 75 truck of Bill Sedgwick as you're looking out the back of Hornaday's truck. Scott Legacy, the road racer, got that Jeff Gordon paint job there on the Chevrolet.
Sure does. That's the 84 truck there of Joe Ruttman, owned by Ernie Irvin. One of Ernie's watching this deal.
I say they're close. When you say they're close, that's pretty close to close racing.
Maybe him and Childress and Earnhardt and those guys are having dinner together.
Yeah, that's looking on from the pole sitter Skinner's truck as he pulls maybe a fender ring.
They're still side by side. Skinner down at the bottom. He really don't want to stay there long, though, Dave. He's going to get those tires heated up, and Joe's going to get on around him.
Certainly resolves the question of whether this will be a 1-lane or a 2-lane racetrack. I'd say it's 2 for now, but you bring up a good point. They're going to run 101 laps here. They hope green all the way, obviously, then stop. It's an unusual race format here, but the pits
they touched a little bit there.
Yeah, they did. You bet. Look at that. What a shot.
Well, that's a great shot. Great shot.
Doesn't get any closer than this. Nascar Truck racing side by side. The black 3 is Skinner, and on the outside, Joe Ruttman of California. And again, they touch off turn 4.
They touch again. Those guys are going after it. You think they were dropping the white flag was out or something. These guys are really going after it.
This is terrific. Looks like Portengay is also involved in a pretty good battle for second and third. He's got P.J. Jones to deal with. And we've got problems here for number 29. That is Keselowski, the ARCA veteran, and he is headed off the racetrack. He has been black flagged. There's an oil leak on that truck. He qualified badly and had to take a provisional, so I guess it's not a big surprise. It is a big disappointment. He's a good racer.
Oh, I'm sure it is, Dave. You know, early in the race to have a problem like that, I'm sure those guys will work hard to try to get it fixed, get back out there for some of those very valuable points.
Did you call this or what? He stayed on the bottom long enough that Ruttman got away from him.
That's a good point. I don't know, maybe if the spotter or even the crew chief may have told Mike, look, let's save those tires and wait a little later. We'll get back by him.
That'll give us a chance to set further back in the field. Number 1 is P.J. Jones, and he, of course, is driving the Chevrolet here, running in 3rd spot, and that's a switch. He was a Ford racer during the Winter Heat Series that ran 3 events on this racetrack during the winter. He has now switched to Chevrolet, and then comes Steve Portengay. He is the Featherlight Southwest
PJ's catching that first group there. They were racing side by side, and they let that group catch up with them. I think Mike needs to get in line right now and just get some laps behind him.
PJ's going to get a shot at him there. There is Portengay, and he's followed by Hornaday, who has moved up from 6th starting spot to 5th, so he's picked up 1 position driving Dale Earnhardt's truck. Actually, Teresa Earnhardt's truck. We constantly refer to it as Dale's truck.
That's Dale's boss.
Actually, Dale's boss's truck. Exactly. Been a terrific scrap from the get-go. They're already going to be lapping slower traffic. First to fall will be Mike Hurlburt. He's the motocrosser out of the state of Washington.
Mike Skinner brought up a good point early in the race when Marty was interviewing about traffic. You know, they're getting around here to about 16 seconds now, and there was almost a second in the starting grid there. So,
well, the different lines very much in evidence, and I think that's going to make for good racing for the entire 200 laps if that holds up. One of the things we noticed in Winter Heat was that oftentimes the groove would seem to move higher and higher on what is a multi-bank racetrack that runs, I believe, 6, 9, and 12. It's a what is it, concave or convex? I could never figure that out. I think it's concave.
You're asking me. You might need Parsons for that.
It's not very steep, in other words, but the groove will move up during the day?
I think it will. What the problem you have here is the closer you run to the bottom of the racetrack, yeah, it's the shortest way around, but you put a lot of heat in those outside tires. You see Mike do that early. He's kind of laid back now, cooled him off. He's going back at Ruttman now.
So Ruttman leads it, and Ernie Irvin's home going, come on, Joe, go get him. Actually, of course, Ernie's not home. He's at North Wilkes, where you'll be tomorrow on ESPN with our live coverage of the Winston Cup action. This is a Racers Weekend here on the network. We've got it all for you. We'll tell you about that toward the end of the show to remind you where you want to be the rest of the weekend. But it is Ruttman out front. What a nice guy he is. Joe's dream in life, he told me at Phoenix, was to win a Winston Cup race. He's been close a couple of times, still waiting for that big plum. But today, he has the opportunity perhaps to win his first NASCAR Truck race. Let's go down trackside and check in with Marty Reed. Marty, what's up?
Well, one of the 3 Dodges in the competition, Bob Keselowski, is in the pits. And, Bob, you got an oil line problem?
Yes, we had to change motors after practice just before the race. And apparently a line is not sealing up real good into the engine block, the main oil line going in, and it's leaking. I'm not sure what they can do with it right now.
That's it, but he'll get back out. You can guarantee that.
Pick your spot in traffic and take the lead. Not a bad move there, eh?
No, it wasn't. I talked to Mike Skinner earlier today, and we were talking about passing. I won't really get into how he described he would have to pass here, but he basically made the same type move.
Yeah, and that time the traffic was critical. They just overlapped Jerry Churchill to put him a lap down. No surprise, 30 trucks on a 3/8 mile track. You're going to be running in traffic all day long. We are off and running here in Tucson. We'll be back with more right after this. Back live at Tucson. Here is the reason we are under a yellow flag. Sammy Swindell and the Channel Lock truck had a little bit of a problem. Now, he has something in common with my expert analyst, Elton Sawyer. They have a common car owner. Now, you haven't been giving Sammy driving lessons in the truck.
Nah.
You're not responsible.
I'm not real sure what happened there. We kind of catch it. There's a lot of smoke there. Yeah, Sammy and I share the same car owner. We get the same check signed by the same people, so I'm sure Bob's not real happy right now.
He spun her out, he kept on trucking, and is back in line for the restart that will come in a lap. Skinner had taken the lead just before the spin and the yellow. He did it in traffic with a masterful move around Joe Ruttman. T.J. Jones has moved from 7th to 3rd. Hornaday from 6th up to 4th. And you're riding with Ron Hornaday, the 2-time Southwest Tour champion right now as we prepare for the restart.
Sorry, Dave. Basically, you see these guys, they're swerving back and forth. What they're doing is not so much putting heat in the tire, they're trying to clean them off. We're ready to go green.
And the green flag falls, and we're back underway with 24 trucks on the lead lap, led by Skinner in that black number 3. The familiar colors of the Childress Racing Organization. And boy, he jumped on him there.
He got a great start. He's getting away a little bit.
It's a hoo-ha behind him, though. McEachern's got up almost into the side of PJ, and now almost
a lot of room there.
Today. I don't think he wants to get lapped.
I don't think so.
Blues guitar player and race car driver McEachern gives him a little bit of a battle. And now we're beginning to see some evidence of one of the Tucson problems, that bright sun.
This is a great shot here, Dave. You can see the driver. He's really getting after it now. Got his hand on the steering wheel and down in the corner. Straightening out, coming back off. Oh, got a little loose there. You see him turn back to the right, trying to catch it.
We turn it all the time at this place. There's not much time to rest. This is the bull ring. This is the definition of the bull ring. Here you can see his hands.
Exactly. Need to get some gloves on Ron Horner, man.
Nah, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. But the issue I was alluding to is the glare as they come around 3 and into 4. You got a glimpse of it there. That sun is setting in the west. And the guys that have been here before are all running a lot of tape on the top of the windshield. The guys who haven't been here much are not doing that. I think that'll come back and bite them.
That's a good point. And for the fans back home, if you go to Darlington or Rockingham, you'll see that same glare late in the afternoon. The guys that run here often, they have the tape on the windshield. That's going to be an advantage for them.
Short track racing at its finest. Mike Skinner is the leader, and since this restart, he's kind of established a 5 or 6 truck length lead and seems to be comfortable to sit on it. And I got to wonder what Ruttman's thinking right now, because he was able to race him hard before the restart. Here's Jones, as we said, moving forward through the field from 7th to 1st, and we've got a spinner. It is truck number 50.
That's Kerry Teague.
Kerry Teague, the veteran from Concord, North Carolina, spun her around, shoved her back in gear, kept on trucking.
That's all you can do when something like that happens. You just get after it and try to get back caught up.
It will pull a caution. I thought for a moment they were going to let him go under green, but they will pull a caution for the second time this afternoon for Kerry Teague. A disappointment for him that will send him to perhaps